Let me tell you something, brother. What you gonna do with the...
What are you doing?
Speaking the language of Hulkamania, brother.
I smell what you are cooking.
Okay, guys, we were just, having some legendary talk. Speaking of legends, it's 2010. It's almost April, and it's the Hall of Fame class of 2010 who gets inducted this Saturday night on USA, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. 7 inductees. I don't mean this in any disrespect, Wade. I respect every one of the legends in this class. I don't think it's as strong of a class as we had last year.
Well, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin last year. How are you going to beat that?
True. I mean, I still respect this class. Very powerful class.
Definitely.
Let's break it down. We got first Wendy Richter, a 2-time women's champion, the woman to break the Fabulous Moolah's winning streak and title reign. She was part of the Rock and Wrestling connection with Cyndi Lauper at WrestleMania. Wendy Richter was a pioneer in the women's division. You want to take the next one?
Well, the next inductee in the 2010 Hall of Fame, the Vince McMahon Hall of Fame, if I may.
Yes.
Is from Japan, Antonio Inoki. This guy, he is a legend. I mean, he's a great competitor. Also, the founder of New Japan Professional Wrestling, a great, incredible wrestling outfit over there in Japan.
You want to see another good match with Nature Boy Ric Flair? Ric Flair, Antonio Inoki.
Yeah.
Another good battle. All right, we have Maurice Mad Dog Vachon. I personally don't know that much about Mad Dog Vachon. I mean, I obviously know who he is. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's our fault. But, no disrespect to Mad Dog Vachon. You want to take the next one?
Yes. All right, next we have legendary sportscaster Bob Uecker coming into this year's Hall of Fame and did some memorable roles at WrestleMania 3 and 4, and even interviewing the famous interview with Andre the Giant. That's Bob Uecker, if you didn't know, and great. He's a funny guy, and
now he takes his place in history.
That's right.
All right, I know you know more about this next one than I do. I'll let you take this one too.
All right, next inductee is Gorgeous George, great wrestler from the 60s, from the 50s. He brought showmanship and style, to the WWE. I mean, if you've seen the package that WWE did on him, I mean, he was great. My grandpa, used to watch wrestling in the 50s and 60s, and he'd tell me stories about going to see Gorgeous George wrestle and everything. He said he was a really funny guy, and so finally, Gorgeous George has taken his place in the history books of WWE.
Ready for this? Watch this. Everybody's got a prize for our next inductee. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, the only man to buy a World Heavyweight Championship in the history of professional wrestling.
That's right, and also creating his own championship.
The $1 Million Champion, Ted DiBiase. Now, having his legacy live through Ted DiBiase Jr., Brett DiBiase as well. Ted DiBiase, a pioneer. He was a real gimmick. He had a gimmick that people didn't want to, they didn't want to see. They didn't like Ted DiBiase. He was a heel. But Ted DiBiase also wrestled. Maybe one of the best to never legitimately hold a world championship.
Definitely.
But now Ted DiBiase takes his place in the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame just got a little bit richer.
That's right. And
the big one. One of the greatest names and families in professional wrestling. The Hart family. And the leader of the Hart family, Stu Hart, takes his rightful place in history. I mean, we've all heard about Canadian Stampede Wrestling. We've heard about the Dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
The names that came out of the Dungeon from Bret Hart,
Chris Jericho,
Owen Hart,
Tyson Kidd,
British Bulldog. I'm going to say it. Chris Benoit.
Oh, suck on that, Vince.
Chris Benoit even. Stu Hart, a legend in professional wrestling. He's going to take his place in wrestling history. Finally, the Hart family will get the respect it deserves. Bret in the Hall of Fame in 2005. And then, now Stu.
And one can only think that in the class of 2011, about mother time, Vince McMahon will put Owen Hart into the Hall of Fame next year.
The Hart family. And remember, the Hart family will be there Saturday night to induct Stu Hart. And they're going to be there Sunday night. because it's Sunday night, March the 28th, live and exclusively on pay-per-view. It's the biggest card ever. And guys, I don't want to be a jerk, but I think I'm going to have to make a fourth part. Wait, we only have 5 minutes, and there's 9 matches. I don't want to cut this thing short. For you guys, there's going to be a 4th part.
Just for you. We do this for you.
Wait. 4. Sorry.
You know who was part of the 4?
Woo!
I was going to say Chris Benoit.
Oh,
but
I was going to reflect. I just wanted to strut. Style and profile.
All right. Wheeling, dealing.
Kiss stealing, limousine riding, jet flying.
69 and... Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So,
when we come back, 4th part of the video, it's the most important part. It's the predictions for maybe the best WrestleMania card in a long, long time.
that's right.
We will be right back.
That's right. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, my friends.
Oh, send me the